It's been in our family since about 1970. We bought it in Rhode Island. Didn't even realize it was a Picasso until about 5 years ago. I have to admit that it hung over the stove in the kitchen, and all of our kids love the smiley face.
What began as a charming decorative plate reveals itself as a serious work of 20th century art. In the post-war years, Pablo Picasso turned increasingly toward ceramics, finding in clay a freedom that painting no longer offered. Working closely with the Madoura studio in Valauris in the south of France, Picasso transformed everyday objects, plates, jugs, and bowls into limited edition artworks. Face in the Noble, produced in 1955, belongs to this creative chapter, where playful imagery and bold relief coexist with careful craftsmanship. Each piece was cast and finished by hand, meaning no two examples are perfectly identical. Minor enamel loss, especially on raised surfaces, is common and expected, even among well-preserved examples. What truly elevates this dish is its documented edition size and direct connection to Picasso's original designs, placing it firmly within the collectible fine art market rather than simple decorative ceramics.
Would you be surprised that an auction value in today's market, probably on the conservative side, would be in the range of $10,000 to $15,000? I love you too.
That's fabulous.
That's fabulous.
During the Depression, my aunt started buying up these vases from Tiffany's. So I guess she ordered some by the crate load.
On the side, it actually says Louis Tiffany Studios with an address.
This remarkable grouping of glass traces directly back to the experimental heart of Louis Comfort Tiffany and his studios in the early 20th century. At a time when American decorative arts were redefining themselves, Tiffany glass stood apart for its painterly ambition and technical daring. Pastel glass, produced later and in multiples during the 1920s, echoed fashionable color trends, yet remained far more costly than typical Depression glass. More extraordinary still is the paperweight vase marked as an exhibition piece, dating to around 1915, when Tiffany Studios invested enormous resources to translate painted imagery, like morning glories, into molten glass. Such works were often destined for world's fairs and museum collections, including institutions like the Musée des Arts Décoratifs, where comparable examples have resided for over a century. Together, these objects reveal Tiffany not as a manufacturer, but as an artist pushing glass to its expressive limits.
An example like this in a retail shop could sell between $100,000 and $150,000.
Where's my brother? Wow, that's unbelievable. I had no idea.
My mother found this in the late 60s. There was a little neighborhood newspaper flyer, and she read that there was a glass lamp for sale.
And my mother asked her, well, what would you like for it? And
she said $125.
Right.
$125, so my mother
went to the bank real quick.
Purchased it and has had it ever since.
This lamp represents the height of American decorative arts at the turn of the 20th century, produced by Tiffany Studios under the direction of Louis Comfort Tiffany. Dating to around 1905, the rose helmet shade is named for its distinctive domed form, while the base, known as the Arkan leaf, displays richly sculpted stylized foliage finished in the prized etched doré patina. What makes this example exceptional is its integrity. Shade and base have remained together, matched by their original gold leading, a detail often lost when components are separated over time. Such lamps were never ordinary household goods. They were luxury statements intended for the parlors of New York society, and their original cost rivaled the annual income of many families. Today, surviving intact examples stand as icons of American Art Nouveau craftsmanship.
Now let me just give you the good news. This lamp is worth between $80,000 and $125,000. Mom had a good eye. Congratulations. Oh, I have to give you guys a hug.
My grandfather was a superintendent of the grounds at an estate in Gloucester, Massachusetts at Eastern Point. And this apparently came from the estate. It was in his chicken coop for years because Where do you put a piece like this?
This extraordinary hanging shade belongs to the earliest and most experimental period of Tiffany Studios, produced around 1900 to 1902, when large-scale custom commissions defined the studio's ambition. Unlike later standardized models, monumental shades of this size, measuring over 30 inches in diameter, were created for specific architectural settings, often grand private estates. The geometric patterning, evocative of ancient or tribal motifs, reflects Louis Comfort Tiffany's fascination with abstraction, color harmony, and light diffusion rather than literal naturalism. Although unsigned, the glass itself serves as authentication. The texture, coloration, and internal construction fins are unmistakably Tiffany. These hidden supports, engineered to preserve both strength and visual purity, explain how such a fragile object survived decades of neglect, relocation, and storage. It is a rare survivor of Tiffany's earliest lighting experiments, when craftsmanship outweighed branding.
Something like this in a retail setting could be priced anywhere between $100,000 and $150,000.
Good to know.
I brought a Orrefors Swedish glass vase. I've owned it for about 4 years. I purchased it at a thrift shop auction, and I liked it so much, I bid and I won the auction.
What'd you pay for this?
I paid $100 for it.
This striking vessel represents one of the most technically ambitious achievements of Orrefors. Created during the late 1930s through mid-century, known as Ariel glass, the technique was pioneered by Edvin Erstrom in collaboration with Vicka Lindstrand and master glassblower Gustaf Bergqvist. The process involved carving and decorating a hot core of glass before encasing it in a thick outer layer, trapping air bubbles and sculptural forms within. This explains both the dramatic internal imagery, such as the rare chameleon motif, and the extraordinary weight of the finished piece. Named after the air spirit in The Tempest, Ariel glass transformed air itself into a visual element, placing Orrefors at the forefront of modernist glass innovation.
I think in a retail shop that this could sell for $35,000 to $45,000.
$45,000?
Yes.